The Great Flood didn't end because of mercy, you see. It ended because it was dull. Imagine it. The entire world swallowed by an infinite gray tide. No birds, no screams, just the rhythmic, repetitive thrum of water hitting water. For eons, we were told the waters receded because a divine heart broke for our plight. But you see, we were wrong. High above the atmosphere, in a realm of fractured light and absolute stillness, a nameless shadow watched the drowning of the earth and felt nothing but a profound, stinging sense of irritation. The silence of a dead planet wasn't holy, you know. It was a bore. You have been taught that the gods act out of love, or perhaps out of a burning, righteous fury. But the truth? The truth is far colder. I am here to tell you of a deity whose name has been struck from the scrolls. A being so ancient that the concept of humanity was merely a fleeting curiosity. As the last mountain peaks vanished beneath the unrelenting gray, this shadow realized that a world without sound, without struggle, and without the messy, chaotic noise of life, well, it was a world without entertainment. It did not reach down to save us because it loved us, right? No. It reached down because it was tired of watching the rain. If you believe our survival was a miracle of grace, you have missed the most terrifying lesson of our history. Our existence is not a gift. It is a distraction for a being that simply could not stand the quiet. Let me show you the era when the world began again. Not with a prayer, but with a divine yawn that changed the course of destiny. Forever. Look back into the deep shadows of our history. You know, to those places where you can still find the etchings our ancestors left behind. They carved their hope into the cold stone, telling of an era they called the Golden Age. At the center of it all, well, there was the Soul King. They painted him as a radiant sovereign, a being who tore through the veil of the stars in a chariot of roaring fire. In these legends, you see, he did not look upon us with indifference. Stories say he saw our ancestors shivering in the primitive dark, their bellies hollow with hunger and their lives brief as caves. The myth claims he wept for us. His golden tears fell to the earth, igniting the first hollows and teaching us the secrets of the flame. It was a beautiful narrative of paternal love, a cosmic destiny that whispered to us that we were special. We were the chosen children of a weeping God. We built cathedrals to this supposed pity, truly believing that our survival was a testament to our inherent worth. But you must understand that legends are rarely the truth. They are merely the masks we place over faces that are, well, too terrifying to behold. If the Soul King wasn't a savior of mercy, then what was he really doing in our skies? The carvings show his light,
but they hide the shadow his chariot cast over the world. While we were busy worshipping the flame, we failed to notice that the fire wasn't meant to keep us warm. It was meant to illuminate the stage for a performance we were never supposed to survive. And the most chilling part, it is not why he stayed, but what he did the moment the novelty began to fade.
The truth, well, it's far colder than the warmth of any altar fire. As the celestial engines of the universe ground to a rusted halt, the elder invaders arrived. They were beings born from the freezing void between the stars, descending upon our world to feast on the stagnant energy of a dying reality. To them, we were nothing more than ripening fruit. They were like locusts, messy, primal, and incredibly loud. I whispered it all from the perspective of the nameless shadow, an entity who had existed long before the first spark of creation ignited the stars. He looked down as these scavengers dismantled the mountains and boiled the seas into steam. Now, you might hope he felt a flicker of pity for the billions of humans being crushed beneath the weight of these cosmic parasites, but maybe he felt nothing of the sort. He did not care for our lives, but he cared deeply about the noise. For eons, the intricate dance of human struggle, the bloody wars, the soaring art, the beautiful, unpredictable chaos of our existence had been his only source of entertainment in an infinite, silent void. To the shadow, we were the ultimate play, a tragic comedy that never ended. And these invaders, they were clumsy vandals, tearing down the theater while the lead actors were still mid-sentence. They were ruining the show. And that was an insult the shadow could not ignore. But as he prepared to intervene, he realized that simply swatting these creatures away would not be enough to preserve the performance he had grown so fond of. He needed something more permanent. Without a word of warning, or even a grand proclamation, the shadow moved. You see, you might expect a thunderclap or the unsheathing of some celestial blade, but there was only a cold, terrifying silence. He didn't charge into battle, right, or scream a challenge to the heavens. No, he simply reached out and flicked those invaders away, as one might brush a speck of dust from a sleeve. These entities, these cosmic nightmares that could swallow suns and crush whole galaxies, vanished into absolute nothingness in the blink of an eye. They weren't erased because they were evil, or because they had caused us suffering. They were erased simply because they were messy. To the shadow, they were a stain on the tapestry, a smudge on his masterpiece. He began to repair the shattered atmosphere and push back the raging tides with the casual indifference of a man straightening a crooked picture frame before leaving a room. The world was saved. Yet, you must understand that not a single soul was spared out of love. We were merely the background characters in a play he was not quite ready to see end. But while the survivors wept with gratitude, I have to tell you, there was a hidden cost to this sudden salvation. For when a god acts out of boredom, his whims can be far more dangerous than his wrath. And as the dust settled, we realized the shadow had left something behind. Something that was never meant to exist in our world. We look at our achievements, those towering spires that pierce the very clouds, and the vast empires we have forged, and we tell ourselves, right, that we have truly earned our place in the cosmos. We believe there is a grand divine plan where we are the heroes, the chosen children of the light. But I must tell you the truth. We remain alive not by merit, nor by any holy decree. No, We exist simply because of the sheer fortune of being more interesting than the silence that preceded us. Every skyscraper you build, every war you wage, and every poem you write, well, it is all merely noise. It is static, meant to drown out the void. You see, we are nothing more than a collection of chaotic signals sent into the ether, hoping to keep the shadow from looking elsewhere. With heavy realization, you must realize the profound tragedy of our existence. We are a pet project for a being that could forget our names in a single heartbeat. The moment we stop evolving, the moment we cease to be loud and complex, the silence will return. Our Savior is not waiting for us in a paradise of golden gates and harps. No, he is watching us from the dark, hovering just at the edge of our perception, waiting for us to bore him. So, continue your dramas, build your wonders, bleed for your causes. Stay interesting, for the dark is patient, and the silence is eternal. If you have ever felt that cold gaze from the shadows, or if you believe we are more than just a cosmic distraction, tell me your story in the comments. And if you wish to keep the fire burning against the encroaching dark, join us again as we explore the legends that define our survival. Stay curious and stay loud, for as long as you listen, the echoes remain.